I just finished the graphic novel Shortcomings by Adrian Tomine. For some reason, when I read the synopsis, which I don't usually do, I came to the conclusion that the book revolved around Miku Hayashi, a 31-year-old aspiring film student. However, to my surprise, the actual protagonist is Miku's boyfriend, Ben Tanaka. Most of the books I've read dealing with a modern cultural identity of young people or Americans, with the exceptions of these books, have been from a female perspective. Shortcomings is also different in the way that books like Absolute Diary of a Part-Time Indian deal with people's fears of losing their cultural identities to whitewashing. Shortcomings focuses on a character who's already had a disconnect from his heritage. The relationship between these two, though seemingly long-term, has still had its problems. These are mainly caused by Ben's cynical tendencies. The book does not paint him in a good light. While some authors choose to give their characters flaws to ground them or make them more complex, therefore giving the readers conflict on whether they can root for the protagonist or not, Tomine makes it clear that Ben is not a nice guy, and to some extent, Ben takes pride in that. You are not supposed to like Ben, but you are supposed to understand Ben, and you are supposed to experience things from his perspective. It's clear that Ben wants to be white. He sees his Asian identity as a burden and doesn't want to deal with it. He continually questions why people would take pride in something that makes them different. And since he can't be white himself, he craves approval from white people. And of course, this pushes people away from him. His girlfriend, his best friend, even the white people in his life. And again, you can blame Ben for all of the shitty stuff he does, and you should. He's an ass. But you have to understand that he's this way because of his culture, our culture. When you live in a society that prominently pushes one kind of people as beautiful, hardworking, and kind over all others, those other people will start to see themselves as inadequate. They can either choose to hold on to who they are and face judgment and persecution, or they can drop all aspects of their previous identities and try as hard as they can to conform. I guess that's why I like this book. While other books like American-Born Chinese or The Absolute Diary of a Part-Time Indian focus on the effects that Eurocentricity, I know, loaded term, have on the lives of people holding different identities and the interactions between heritage and normal life, Shortcomings doesn't spell it out. It's not about the society's pressure on an individual to conform. It's about an individual who has conformed's fear and disdain for those who haven't. I think Shortcomings, both head-on and subtextually, deals with a lot of concepts and ideas that a lot of people of color and minorities in America think about. I mean, for me when I was younger, a lot of my insecurities were about my skin tone. You know, wouldn't I be so much more attractive if I was a little lighter, or wouldn't it be nice to have fairer skin? And I think that's something that's common in specifically Asian American communities, but I think most. I didn't even talk about the art, which is actually the reason why I first picked the novel up. It's beautiful. I love it. If anything I said in this semi-review, semi-rant interests you, I highly suggest you pick up Shortcomings. It, I think, is one of my favorite graphic novels. I rate it a solid 9 out of 10. Cole approves. Buy it. Okay. Bye!